Hey, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. What up guys, this is Monkey Figure Reviews, and today we are going to talk about this figure in front of us. It is the Portrait of Pirates DX, Mr. Zero of Baroque Works, or more commonly as we know him, Sir Crocodile, former member of the Shichibukai. Now, this figure I believe was released about 10 years ago in 2010, so a relatively old figure, something to keep in mind while we're discussing the details of him later. And I probably got him about 3.5 years or maybe 4 years ago, just in the early stages of this channel. And I just realized I have not done a review on him, so I thought that now would be a good time, especially when the mass maximum version of him will be coming out very soon next year. Now, my figure, I got it secondhand, so I do not have the box to share with you guys the design, and I believe I got all the parts with me here. So other than what you see in front of you, we have two other additional parts. We have a blade and a poison hook, which you can swap around with the hook that is currently attached to his body. And other than what you see in front of you, what can come off is just the coat and also the cigar. So the cigar actually comes as a separate piece. You have to be very careful to not lose it because it is very tiny, especially when you're cleaning or transferring the figure. But from what I know from my experience, this cigar is lodged pretty tightly between the teeth, so it is very secure. Now, let us go on to the details of the figure. As usual, let us start off with the head sculpt. And in terms of character likeness, I believe that most people think that this is not the best in capturing that. Especially when you look at the source material in the manga/anime. Then again, Crocodile's looks had also changed quite a lot, especially when you compare his debut look in Alabasta to like now. It looks quite different due to Oda's evolving art style. But since this is his Marineford impel down outfit, let's compare him to how he looked like back then. And definitely, like not the best in capturing it. The mask maximum also to me doesn't look perfect in capturing his likeness, which is, I don't know, we have to see, which it's kind of sad to be honest to me. But of course, back to this figure, other than those things, what I really like is the details on the face itself, especially the depth, the way it is designed and sculpted around the eyes. So you can sort of see the layers from the eyebrow to the eye socket to the eyelid to the eye. It's just going deeper and deeper. So the facial structure is very pronounced. It's very obvious to us. And also here on the forehead, you can see his frown has created these shapes. And other than that, I think the paints are all really well done, especially for a figure that came out 10 years ago. The scar is good, the mouth is good, and the cigar's design is very simple, as you can see. I'll just show you guys, and just kind of tuck it in between the teeth. And over this side, we have a golden earring just on this ear. I don't think there is on the other side. Yeah, but I think, even though it doesn't look like Crocodile, it still sort of capture his personality quite well, which is what I really like. And other than that, in terms of the head, it's just the hair. So a very neat comb back slick style, which is a signature of Crocodile, and it just goes all the way to the back like this. So quite a number of individual strands is sculpted in. I have removed the coat for now so we can see his organic outfit better, and it is a very simple pairing, just black top, black shirt, and black pants. And right in the middle here we have his green scarf tucked in and some bronze buttons right down the middle, and you can just see the creases for yourself, the folds to show his motion. On top of it, we have some shading here, some coloring to give some sort of lighting variation. And it can look a bit weird here, like from the shoulder to the arm, there's a drop off in the shape, which to me is weird. But I guess most people would probably not display him like this naked without the coat, so it would not be very obvious and disturbing to some of us. And this is the arm, a little bit of shading in certain areas too. And this is the hand itself, the right hand, and I believe this is it can be rotated 360. But let me just show you guys the rings on his hand first. Some of the gemstones, different colors. I don't know, like sapphire, emerald and stuff, ruby maybe. And you can just spin this 360. But I believe more commonly people would just point it upwards, so he's sort of using his devil fruit powers. And you can also see some shading here. Some parts are darker around the hand. I think the nails are slightly painted too. There you go. And let me just show you guys the back. The creases and folds are all very well done to show his body shape and motion. This is the other arm. And of course the big thing is the hook. And I think this is gold, but it kind of looks a bit bronze too. Also some shading around, some parts of the hook a little bit darker here. And you can actually turn this 360 too, and also swap this with either the hook or the poison hook or the blade. I don't think he ever used the blade in the story, but he definitely used the poison hook. To me, this hook is still the most organic to him, so more iconic, so I'd rather have him here. And I think the angle should be something like this. Okay, so let me just try to show you guys other angles. Generally very well done, but it is very clean. I've seen some Crocodile figures where they did better damage, but this is a very clean representation of the hook. This is his belt, blue and white in color. Details are rather simple. Like I said, this figure came out 10 years ago, so bear that in mind. This is Crocodile's butt. Looks pretty good, looks pretty tight. And I kind of think that his pants are more greyish in color in terms of black. Maybe it's not that clear on the camera. The top is definitely darker. And more shading here at the front, a lot of creases. And as we go down, we get to see his beautiful classy shoes. It's painted with sort of a dark glossy grey paint, and we have this part which is goldish bronze-ish in color. Looks very classy. And these are the soles. So that's pretty much it for the main figure itself. This is Crocodile's coat, generally black in color, as you can see, and just this part at the top is his fur, so it's also kind of light greyish, probably a white undercoat, and then they just did some sort of greyish paint on it to give shading and color to make it less boring. And here we have some buttons. The coat is a very solid piece, by the way. This is the back, and the sleeve is of course coming out and sort of flying in mid-air to give some life to the figure. This is pretty much it. Hope you guys can see the shape well on the video. Lastly, we have the base, and it says Baroque Works, no spacing, and the organization logo, as well as Mr. Zero Crocodile. Mine has a bit of damage here and there, but generally the way they've done it, I think it is to match Crocodile's devil fruit powers, so it's kind of like sand color, and it actually feels a bit coarse on the surface. Towards some of the edges, it's also a bit darker with a bit of shading. So really cool and unique base. The height of this figure from the bottom of the base to the top of his head, it is around 25 cm, so very close to hitting 10 inches. Here I have taken out my Ichiban Kuji Master Stars Piece Crocodile, so we can do some height comparison between the different series. This is very close to the King of Artists, Flag Diamond Ship, Glitter and Glamours, Glitter and Brave, and also more commonly nowadays, the Masterlize figures. Usually the P.O.P is shorter than those other series, so you can see how they look like. Here we have the Jump Fiesta P.O.P Luffy, and I thought this is always a very cool display option. So you just have kind of these two opponents facing off as enemies next to each other. You can obviously swap this Luffy to the more angry face to fit the occasion better. Of course, this is Miss All Sunday Nico Robin, so we can have the two top dogs of Baroque Works as a display here. We don't really have other characters made into POP from the organization other than, I believe, Mr. 2. So we can put Mr. 2 along this lineup. Alright guys, that's pretty much all I have to say for this Crocodile figure. To me, a figure that came out about 10 years ago, it is still a very good figure, and often there's also simplicity and beauty in just a figure standing there looking badass, especially when you compare to the more crazy and dynamic ones we are getting a lot more today, like some of the Kujis and also some of the POP Maximum. If anything, if you like Crocodile, if you just want a figure of him looking badass, this would probably be a good one for you. And from what I know, I think the price is probably not too high for him, and it might even drop more when the Maximum comes out next year, so likely it would not break your wallet. Okay, yeah, and in terms of the details, you know, like the style, the sculpt itself, pretty much in alignment with the 2010 standard, so I really couldn't ask a lot out of him. And yeah, obviously, like, the face is not the best, but then again, I think most of the figures that came out during that time is also not very good, so can't really complain much. And let me know what you guys think of this figure. Most of you probably would have him, I would think. Let me know if you guys will be keeping him or will be selling him and getting the mass Maximum. I always love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments section below. And if you're new here, if you like what I'm doing, you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on them, and join the community. So thank you guys for sharing your time once again with me. I will see you guys very soon. Goodbye.